Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I originally filmed an introduction to this video, and as I was editing it, I was like, no. So this is me refilming an introduction while I do the editing. And so this video, I'm gonna be making a homemade version of Butterbeer from the Harry Potter books and inspired by the butterbeer that they serve at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios. I'm not a huge fan of the cold butterbeer. My favorite is actually the hot version, but it's the middle of summer right now, so I'm not gonna be making the hot version. I will be making the hot version come this fall and winter, especially during the holidays. It's just so magical and I just love it. So the reason why I'm making this video and why I'm making homemade butterbeer this month is because it's July and it's Harry Potter's birthday on July 31st. So cheers to you, Harry, and stay tuned if you want to learn how to make homemade butterbeer. By the way, guys, this is my dog. Isn't she so cute? Her name is Luna. Say hi. Oh, she's got an itch. All right, guys, so here's the ingredients that we've got today. We are gonna be making a butterscotch syrup from scratch using Caro syrup, which is corn syrup. We're gonna be using brown sugar, whipping cream, and butter. So we're gonna be making our homemade butterscotch sauce, and then we're gonna be mixing that with some cream soda. And then we're gonna be creating that famous whipped topping out of marshmallow fluff, and I'm gonna be using some butterscotch schnapps. Obviously you don't have to use alcohol to make this recipe. I just like the flavor and I just like the consistency that it creates. We can talk about different ways after I make it. And of course we have our tankard. Can't drink butterbeer out of a regular glass. You gotta have a cool one like that, right? Okay guys, so what you see here is brown sugar, butter, and corn syrup in a pan. And what we're gonna do is I've got the heat on, I've got it pretty high, medium-high heat, and we're gonna kind of start to stir this together, let the butter start to melt, and we're gonna bring this to a boil. Now, according to the directions, it says to boil until the syrup reaches 240 degrees. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna measure it. So if you choose to do this, you might want to follow the directions just in case, but I just feel comfortable enough making this syrup because I've made butterbeer before. I've made this syrup before. I just feel comfortable enough in my knowledge that I'm just not gonna measure the temperature. So yeah, we're gonna let this butter melt and the sugar is gonna start to dissolve into the liquid, and we're gonna start making butterscotch. Now, once this is all boiled and combined, we're gonna add in heavy cream, and that's gonna create the butterscotch syrup. You know, I just realized this is probably just caramel. I'm honestly not sure what the difference is. Now, the recipe calls for rum extract. I'm also not doing that. I'm not putting rum extract in this. I don't have any. I don't even have any real rum. So I'm not gonna worry about it. Maybe that's what makes it butterscotch with rum extract. But I don't have any and I don't feel like buying any, so. Can you guys see this? So yeah, we're just By the way, I'm watching Sorcerer's Stone while I do this. Or, I mean, I have it playing in the background because it really just wouldn't feel right to be making something so magical and not have the magic happening all around me, so. Okay, everything is melted. Everything is incorporated, and we're just gonna let it boil per the instructions. Now, the more it boils, this is like making candy. The more it boils, the like harder it's gonna get. So we don't want it to get to that like really hard stage. We want it to stay a syrup. Totally not a candy maker, so I probably am not saying the right thing at all, but I do know that the more you boil stuff like this, the harder it'll like solidify in the end, which we definitely don't want to be hard. We want it to be a syrup. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like caramel. It's just like bubbly, delicious. It smells like caramel. I'm really excited about this. I haven't made butterbeer in a while. Actually, no, I do remember the last time I made butterbeer. It was last year on July 31st. My friend and I had a birthday party for Harry, and I made homemade cold butterbeer for us. We also had shepherd's pie. Well, actually it's cottage pie when it's made with beef. And we watched Goblet of Fire, I believe. And we also put together the Lego Quidditch set, which was so much fun. So this is nice and bubbly. I feel like a witch with my cauldron, so bubbly. As you can see, it's pretty thick. It's getting pretty thick. So this recipe says to pull it off the heat and let it rest for 5 minutes before adding the whipping cream. In the past, I think I've just added it while it was on the heat, but I'm gonna follow the directions somewhat since I'm skipping a few ingredients. Okay, you can see this is kind of like foamy, fluffy. I'm gonna turn it off the heat. See that? Now, this recipe calls for apple cider vinegar, which I have actually never put in my butterbeer before. This is my first time using this recipe. So I guess she says that she puts apple cider vinegar in it just to help cut the sweetness a little bit. So I'm gonna give it a try because I have apple cider vinegar, but if you don't have apple cider vinegar, don't worry about it. You don't need it. Okay. As you can see, we have like a caramel, like consistent, like a caramel syrup. I'm sorry, I'm totally blocking your view. Caramel syrup, like consistency. So I'm just gonna let it cool for a little bit, and then we're gonna add in the heavy whipping cream and the apple cider vinegar. So I added the heavy cream, I added a splash of apple cider vinegar, and I ended up adding a splash of the butterscotch schnapps that I have, just not necessarily wanting it to be alcoholic. I just thought the butterscotch would add a nice flavor since I didn't have the rum extract. So since I have the butterscotch schnapps, I just added a splash of it to this. Now this is like really runny. I don't remember it being this runny. The last time I made it, I followed a different recipe, so this one's just a little bit runnier, but we're gonna add this to the cream soda, and then we're gonna make the whipped topping, and it's gonna be so yummy. Hey guys, so it's actually the next day. My husband got home yesterday, and it was 4th of July when I was filming this, so I didn't end up getting to finish. So I couldn't finish filming the butterbeer video yesterday because my husband left work early and we were getting ready to cook our 4th of July dinner. So I have to finish it up today. So I have the syrup all made, and I actually had to store it in the refrigerator. So this will be a good chance for me to show you kind of how to reheat it and mix it with the cream soda, and then we'll make the cream topping, and then we will enjoy our butterbeer. And I am watching Chamber of Secrets. Woo! Hey YouTube, so basically what happened here is I hit record and I didn't realize that I was recording, so I had to come back in while I'm editing and let you guys know what I was doing here. So in this clip I am reheating the butterscotch sauce that I had made the day before. It had been sitting in the refrigerator and it obviously got a little more solidified being cold in the fridge, so I'm putting a little bit in a bowl, putting it in the microwave, and it only took about 15 seconds to heat it back up to the same consistency that it was when it was hot off the stove. And so right now that's what I'm doing. I am putting the butterscotch sauce in the microwave, and what you see in front of you is the stuff to make the whipped topping. So we have marshmallow fluff, we have whipping cream, we have butterscotch schnapps, and then we have our cream soda and our mug. So we're going to add all of that into the mug. Not all of that, I'm sorry. We're going to add the cream soda and the butterscotch sauce into the mug to create the base of the butterbeer. And then we're going to create the whipped topping, which you'll see in the next clip coming up here shortly. Y'all, it is a real thing to forget to record. I have not been recording, I don't know for how long, so yeah, just in case I didn't already film this part, I have added our syrup to our butterbeer. I'm sorry. Okay, I have added the butterscotch syrup to the cream soda in our glass, and now I'm mixing together marshmallow fluff, heavy whipping cream, and the butterscotch schnapps. And I'm just whisking this together to create the whipped cream topping that goes on top of the butterbeer. This is a signature thing that they do at the parks, and it's so sweet, but it's so yummy. So I'm gonna finish whisking this together. Such a newbie, you guys, to forget to push record. Like, who does that? Okay. This is looking really good. It's might be a little thin, but you know what? It's okay. Okay, so we're gonna pour this into our cup and then we're gonna enjoy our butterbeer. Ah! Yeah, so this does not look like how it looks at the parks. It's gonna overflow. All right, we're gonna give it a taste. I'm gonna taste it live for you guys. It's gonna get all over my face. Is it all over my face? Is it? All right, so I've got my butterbeer. I would recommend spooning in the whipped topping on top of your glass, because as you can see, it's kind of like an ice cream float. When you add in the cream to the butterbeer, it just like foamed up a lot. There is like the cream on top, but it didn't like float on top like it does at the park. So I'm not sure if it was too thin. Maybe I added too much liquid to it. It doesn't taste bad. It tastes delicious. I totally recommend making this recipe. I think it's delicious. I think you can make it alcoholic. You can make it non-alcoholic. Really, I just used the butterscotch schnapps for flavor. I didn't really want it to be boozy, and you can't really tell that there's alcohol in this. Obviously, if you're serving to children, don't add the alcohol. But yeah, so butterbeer, it's delicious. And now I'm gonna go watch some Chamber of Secrets, and I'm gonna enjoy this nice cold butterbeer, and we're gonna celebrate Harry's birthday all month long. It's gonna be a great thing. Cheers, guys. Okay, guys, I had to come back in and try this again. So I made the whipped topping a little thicker. I just didn't add as much. Actually, so I made the whipped topping a little thicker. I just made more of it, and I added more of the marshmallow fluff because I just thought it just didn't look good before. It's gonna taste the same, but Look at how much better that is. That looks so good. It looks just like it does at the parks. I wish I had the little fountain machine that squirts out the whipped topping. But doesn't that look so good? It looks, I mean, come on, that's so magical. Like, so magical. So yeah, I just had to come in and show you guys that if you spoon it on top instead of pouring it in, it doesn't foam up. So it looks so good. Yum, guys. Enjoy. Spiders. I don't like spiders either, Ron. Oh man, it's written in blood.